Here we go with another work week and another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. It is the 15th day of August. We're halfway through the month. Let's do a quick review of the first couple of weeks of August. For a change, the last 2 days have been average. We've not had a below average day this month, but we've had 2 days in a row now where we've been right at 80, which is our average high for this time of the year. But look at that remarkable stretch to kick off August. From the 1st through the 13th, the coolest high was 82 degrees. Had a couple of 90-degree days in there at the end of last week and the start of the weekend. For the month so far, 5.5 degrees above average. This will start to get a little ironed out as we go into the final 10 days of August. I'll show you the long range in a second, but it looks like August will certainly end on a cooler note than it began. All right, so we talked a lot last week about the potential for some rain late in the week and over the course of the weekend. Now, the weekend rain underperformed a little bit locally. Notice the much higher amounts over the last 72 hours from the boot heel of Missouri through southern Illinois, southern Indiana, even parts of western and central Ohio did pretty well. When you do an average here of, kind of southwest Ohio, average of an inch and a half to 2 inches worth of rain over the last 72 hours or so. But back here closer to home, amounts have been quite a bit lower. When you average together everything for the last 72 hours, generally everyone's only picked up about a quarter of an inch to half an inch worth of rain as an average. There's been some higher and lower amounts, but when we average them all out, last 72 hours, close to a half an inch worth of rain. Now everything is starting to green up, but we were hoping for a little more rain than this. But there's plenty more opportunities for some wet weather in our extended forecast. When I recorded this evening at 8:07 p.m., pretty quiet out there. It's cloudy, it's muggy. I'm going to keep an eye on this action down to our south and west, south of Columbus. This, if it holds together, might try to impact our viewing area later on this evening, but I also suspect it's not going to hold together much. Maybe there's a passing shower overnight. Here's our high-resolution futurecast. It could be a shower or two overnight. No big deal. Looking for pretty light rainfall amounts. And tomorrow probably starts out dry. Maybe even some sunshine trying to work in tomorrow morning. It's tomorrow afternoon that things get a little bit interesting. As we get into the afternoon tomorrow, system is heading our way. It's a weak cool front, but it will be enough to trigger some showers and storms, and some of these could turn kind of strong. The window opens up for this right around mid-afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, and continues through the early evening, 8 o'clock at the latest. I think we're just fine. But the Storm Prediction Center does have us in the slight risk tomorrow, in the yellow area here. Generally, when we're talking about slight risk, we're meaning scattered severe storms a possibility. They tend to be short-lived, not necessarily all that widespread. This isn't a huge severe weather outbreak kind of a day tomorrow, but, we haven't had a slight risk in a little while here, so it'll be interesting to see how tomorrow plays out. As far as the risks go tomorrow, I put wind damage at the number 1 risk with any storms tomorrow afternoon. Number 2, which I don't have on here, but it would be flash flooding. These storms will probably be moving along at a pretty good clip, and that's good news, but there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere to wring out, so possibility in poor drainage areas, things like that you might have a few issues tomorrow. Outside chance of some hail as well. I have the timing on this starting at 3, ending at 8. I'll probably need to adjust this. It's more like 3 to 6. It's a fairly short window, late afternoon, that we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. So that's the idea for tomorrow. That front sags off to our south Wednesday. Now this air Wednesday is not exactly refreshing, but probably a little bit less humid on Wednesday. Outside chance of a pop-up shower or a storm. Don't think that's a big deal. This next front, little or no consequence for us. This front that sags to our south tomorrow into tomorrow night is just the border, really, between the disgustingly humid air and the sort of tolerably humid air, which thankfully will be on the tolerable side as we go through midweek. It'll still be humid, but not as bad as it has been. And speaking of the moisture and the humidity, let's take a look at how the pattern is going to change in the longer range. Lots of moisture still pumping in from the Gulf of Mexico up the Ohio and Mississippi rivers now. Again, a muggy week, just not as humid as last week. But look what happens in the longer range. On Saturday, we're still muggy. But look at this cold front charging in from the north and west. It'll be out here on Saturday. But by Sunday, it's going to be knocking on our door and dragging in this drier air out of Canada and the Pacific Northwest. And finally, it's been a few weeks, we're going to get a pretty good cold front in here. Sunday night into Monday, sweeping the humidity away. Boy, is it going to feel nice outside. We got to wait a week, but boy, is it going to feel nice outside in a week. Dew points are going to drop, a little taste of September in the air, and after, 3 weeks of pretty hot and humid weather, this is going to be a nice treat early on next week. So here's how the dew points should manifest. Again, bobbing down a little Wednesday into the mid-60s. Maybe close to 70 Thursday, maybe in that same neighborhood Friday and Saturday. But then our cold front arrives Sunday. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, Saturday's the drier half of the weekend. Showers and storms pretty likely on Sunday, although the timing is still, as you would expect, 6 days out. Still a little up in the air. Maybe it's mostly morning, but wouldn't want to guarantee that just yet. But whatever the timing of the storms is Sunday, Monday, dew points, lower 50s. Open up the windows. It's too bad we have to wait a week, but it'll be worth it. It's going to be awesome in a week. And how long does that pattern change last? There's actually some indications on the modeling here that it has some staying power. Here's the 10 to 20 day outlook on the latest climate model, showing a lot of below average temperatures east of the Rockies. Does that mean every day is below average? No. But in that 10 to 20 day frame, when it'll all come out in the wash as probably a below average period. There should be some pretty comfortable weather during the last 10 days of August. So hang in there. We're going to get there. I think that the reward for some storms before the weekend is through and a long stretch of hot and humid weather will be a very nice treat coming in that kind of 7 to 14, 15, maybe even 20-day period. Might even take us up to the Canfield Fair. We'll see. Canfield Fair always seems to me to be very hot. It's not always the case, but since I've been here over the last few years, it's been hot and humid every year. See how this year plays out. In the meantime, thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. After our Olympic coverage tonight, I'll see you on 21 News. We should be on the air right around midnight.